name is Ray. I'm with the Rebel Traders Group. And for anyone who doesn't know or is new, Rebel Traders was just created as an open space to really, we want to embrace constructive conversation about different projects, even when it's hard topics to talk about that each of us are involved in. And we want to build community here and are excited for this opportunity because we want to bring not only new projects that are pre-launch into view, but we really like getting projects like Gallant as well. And you're already up and running, have some great developments on the horizon, and excited to hear where this is headed because I know there's a lot of exciting stuff on the roadmap that we'll get to learn more about today. And also on our team, we have Natalie, Pierre, Matt, and Jade from the Rebel Traders. And listen, we're truly glad to have Gallant Token team here today. So I wanted to take a moment to say thank you. Man, it's an honor to have your team here. And there have been several in the community who have expressed a lot of excitement about learning more about this project. This is a new introduction for me when we first started speaking. I think I had heard about the project kind of in the wings, but hadn't turned my eye to it yet. And I'm quite interested to see what you guys are in the development phases of. So just a couple housekeeping matters before we begin. Of course, we want to announce that this is not financial advice. It's not a recommendation to invest or not invest in any project. And again, our goal at Rebel Traders is just to facilitate open, constructive conversation as we work together to research and find great projects out there that we feel are going to be a success. And so we like to ask the hard questions. As always, for anybody listening now or later, we encourage you to get connected with the Telegram for anyone that we host. So get connected with the Telegram, get plugged in there, make sure you are reading the pins as much as we get tired of hearing read the pins and find out what's going on there and ask any questions that you have, do some solid research and find out what you think. But how about, Stephen, if we start out with an introduction of the team and maybe some background information that helps us understand what your team brings to the project and kind of how this all got started.
Certainly. So first and foremost, my name is Stephen. Last name's Walters from the U.S. here, and definitely glad to be here on behalf of Gallant as the leader, and Samantha, who is our head of design. That's my better half. She's actively engaged at all times with Gallant. And then we have Jake, who is a part of game strategy. He was just an investor into the project, and as time developed and grew, we couldn't get rid of him no matter how hard we tried. And so he slowly transitioned over into our core team, and we're very thankful for him to be here. I see some more people's joining in. Glad to see you guys. I know some of these names, some of them I don't, but to our community members that's joining in, thank you for being here and supporting Gallant. How the project was started, Ray, was similar to what you hear in the other places. Is investors had come together, they experienced some scams, rug pulls, and they got fed up and did their own thing. So that's how Gallant got started. We were a part of a project that looked like it had a promising future. And within about 24 hours, LP was disappearing. And so it was myself and JB and another member who's not here, of course, because he was a scammer too, had decided that we would try to help that project out. And shortly thereafter, there was no saving of that project because the founder of it had paid someone on Fiverr to create a smart contract that had some flaws in it that was allowing the developer himself to backdoor LP out. And so it was at that point, it was like, look, guys, we're not going to be a part of this. We're going to do our own thing. And since then, we've established a good reputation for delivering on our promises, doing the right thing, and continuing development as we grow from day to day and week to week. Where we are today is not where we were a week ago, and so on and so forth. And so to answer your question a little bit further, is background. I'm an IT guy, network engineer, really enjoying customer relations and being a liaison between the complex stuff to the end user, and the infrastructure analysis and stuff like that from IT. Background in networking as the concrete piece. Samantha's a design, really good with creativity and facilitating executive administrative tasks. She's a go-getter. Um,
Okay.
JB's our numbers man. He's really phenomenal at the wallets, being able to keep track of things that need to be tracked for accounting purposes. And then there comes Jake with the game strategy. He's a gamer himself, so he really enjoys working on some of the game mechanics that we've come up with these games. And as we continue them, to see his hand having a work in the background on the actual facilitations of the key points on quests and the game mechanics as a whole. That sums up a category in itself, game mechanics. But that's Jake, and
Sure.
that's our core team.
Nice. I see that JB made it into the room, and maybe he'll be able to join in some. Maybe he'll inspire some fellow flyers to say, "What is that you're talking about?" Teach somebody about crypto on a flight.
Oh yeah, we market this thing everywhere we go.
Absolutely. The conversations that take place on airplanes sometimes. No, that's great. Excited to hear the background of the team and kind of where you came from. And yeah, that's what we're looking for in this space. And that's one of the reasons we like to host projects that are already underway too, because you guys have established a reputation and have kind of developed a level of trust with the community. People can see, all right, we know that the contract is sound and working. We see where we're headed. We see progress. Like I've been on your website the last couple of days, and I'm seeing the bar that's tracking the progress of development actually changing since we first started talking. And so, yeah, tell us a little bit about what this medieval gaming concept's all about, and see if you can kind of help us get a vision of what the goal is and where this is headed.
Certainly. And so good questions, as well as thank you for being a diligent doer in looking at our page and not just pulling it up and saying, hey, we got some B&B for an AMA here. Let's roll with it. We actually do take pride in everything we do. We've been praised many times on our website itself, because it's not just like a typical copy paste template of a meme coin. There's actually been a lot of development go into that website. And we do try to keep it up to date on a routine basis. Every time we do something, Sammy's there to make the addition to it. So thank you for recognizing that.
Yeah.
If you would, Ray, I've got a little presentation here. I'd be glad to share it with you and the Rebel Traders group, that kind of goes over a little bit about who we are and what our goals are. I can give you a condensed answer really quickly, and that's to Gallant Token is a smart contract on the Binance Smart Chain. It's a community of people around the world, but it's also a brand. And as Gallant Token is continuously developed on the smart contract side, Gallant Studios, in partnership with Gallant Token, Gallant is, of course, a word in itself. It's its own entity. And so Gallant, understanding is courageous and bravery, and those aspects. The studios behind Gallant, as a game development company, will not just be, Gallant Token is going to have its own video game, right? Medieval inspired, MMORPG is our main bread and butter that we want to get done, and in the process create some smaller games, indie games and stuff, that are able to be integrated on blockchain and off blockchain, for people to be able to see, and something that's tangible, that can generate revenue through both in-app purchases on the iOS and Android store, but also play to earn for the holders and participants in our community, as we go through the stages of getting the big game done, because the big game's not going to be cheap and it's not going to be done overnight. The gaming industry as a whole is $230 billion a year, expected to increase over 90 billion next year. And so understanding, like, your Grand Theft Autos, that was 5 years in development, to get it to where it's at. And so understanding the needs and capacity, and that wasn't just a team of 4. There was multiple people on the team, hundreds of people in that team, in terms of the graphics, the maps, the mechanics, the storylines, the CGs, the UI, the UX, the rigging from the different characters. There is so much that goes into it. And so, it's not to be far-fetched or reaching outside the box to say, this is something that we can do by the end of next year, I would more than likely say that our beta should be out by end of next year for the MMORPG, as long as we can continue on delivering on these small objectives that incorporates reasons to hold, but also increases the price floor of the token, such as the NFT fighting game, that users can buy the NFTs that will give them the ability to play the game. We can expound more upon that. But as you asked, what is our goal? Our goal is to produce medieval style themed games, but also be a launch pad for game developers. I've got a little bit of material that I can share with you to showcase a little bit about what I mean by that.
Yeah, that sounds great. I see it up on the screen and would love for you to share that. And then we can maybe talk a little. Oh, I see you got some talking points there. So yeah, share with us a little bit more about this and tell us what we need to know. And I just want to remind the community, as we're going through this, we'll have a time in a little while that you can ask any questions you have. But if you're not able to speak for whatever reason at work or something and have a question that you want to send in, I know that our main chat's muted to focus on this AMA. But if you'll send those to Natalie, or you can DM me, I can multitask usually. But yeah, take it away. I do see your feed is just fine here, so let's hear what you got going on.
Thank you. So essentially, we just wanted to let the community know here at Rebel Traders what we've been up to and what's in current status. So CertiK audit is being onboarded. You can view us there on the CertiK website. You can see that it's onboarding. We actually paid for Skynet last night. We're really excited about that, because if anybody that's in this industry knows that that's huge when it comes to protection and security from an investment standpoint, and for longevity. You don't hardly see Skynet as a whole running on a project unless they're going to be around for a while, because that money could be used to put in the developers' pockets as they walk away from the project. But we know we need that, because it not only captures the security from the website, but as well as the contract, the wallets, and so forth. So very excited about that. That was a huge milestone for us, because we already had a contract audit done, but having the CertiK badge and brand is something that we can hold our heads up high about, knowing that we have a direct line of communication with CertiK too, should there any questions arise, or if anybody wants to, find out more. We're going to be scheduling an AMA directly with Larry from CertiK, and we're really excited about doing some cross promotions with some other tokens and coins here over the next week or so. So stay tuned for that. CoinGecko and CMC, of course, you guys can see the chart. It pumped like holy hell. It was quite the journey. I've yet to see a coin pump for 15 hours. It was 15 hours, Ray. 15 hours I counted from yeah. I mean, because for 48 of those hours I was asleep nonstop because I was waiting for it, and then 15 hours after that I'm over here like, all right, I don't want it to stop, but it can stop at any time now. I'm not going to be mad, because I know there's going to be profit takers, and we've still got some people shaking out, because if you think about it, we were at a 600K market cap. A YouTube video come out, it pushed us up to a little over 1 million, and we were finding a resting place right after that pump happened. And so you have people from CMC and CG alerts that they don't even look at your website. They don't even look at your contract half the time. They just ape in because they know that the pump follows from that alert. And so we're finally starting to find us a floor here. And as soon as we start to stabilize and trade sideways for a day or so, then we can kick off the next round. And we're really excited about it. First game's launching in a couple weeks. We're really excited about that. I've got some screenplay here for you, and I'll jump straight into that from the screen share session. And so,
all right,
if you look on our website, there's a sneak peek trailer called 3D Fighting Game. It basically showcases the character moving down the alleyway a little bit and fighting a little Roman, a little Egyptian zombie that had been spawned from the dead. And we come up with these characters because I was inspired by a game called Castle Crashers by Bethesda Games. And when I saw that, I was like, man, it'd be really cool to kind of have like a little 3D fighting game with these little characters in it. So from the very first screen share to this one is basically allowing to see developments taking place between character selection screen and into the gameplay screen. There's now a background. There's objects, of course. There's a timer, a set timer with a coin counter. And so as we move it forward a little bit, you'll see some fighting action here. And you'll also notice that there's a little Gallant coin in the background with our logo on it. We were really cool, really pleased about that. And so as this is being released for Android and iOS over the coming weeks here, we're excited to have the communities and players that download it fight for the leaderboard. And so it's not blockchain based, but we will have in-app purchases that gives revenue back to the brand and business. And we'll also be having a leaderboard to airdrop the people who participate in playing the game and setting high scores. Moving forward just a little bit, we'll showcase another piece of development with it is that the next round, the next level, of course, is not like the same as before. It's got different architecture, still gives that little medieval castle theme, but it's a different environment, so it's never the same from level to level. And so increasing of mastery, it's going to be easy to play but hard to master in terms of quickness. You're not just going to run through it because we didn't want to just make something super easy. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some hardcore people out there that just run through games. So we're excited to have something tangible and deliverable. I've seen projects launch here on the blockchain that doesn't even have a developer account with Apple to be able to release a game. So having something already there, as well as having our Apple developer account approved, we're excited about it. We've got some YouTube promotions that's been rolling around directly on our website. And the website updates gives you a gaming section to kind of talk about what's happening. And then lastly, Sammy is working on an NFT collection that will coincide for a holder's incentive as an art piece, but also a direct relation to the NFT fighting game that goes hand in hand.
Gotcha. And so you're talking about in the next couple of weeks, and is that the countdown that's on your gaming site, which is the release on app of this, what we just saw on the screen?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
Wow. And you've already got your Apple account approved, so we're going to see this on Apple, iOS, and Android.
That is correct. And as I do that, I will show directly that this is who I am. I am Stephen Walters there, and you can see on the screen Gallant Token LLC. That's our registered business address in the state of Delaware for tax purposes. But yeah, this is us. And then also to give you a little piece extra with Android, I'm all about transparency. You know, too many people out here say they're transparent, but they're really not. They're deceiving and being deceitful. But if I can go that second mile and give you a picture that's worth 1,000 words, I'm going to do it. So there's our developer profiles, our socials, our GitHub account that basically has a link to everything I've shown you. And then last but not least, inside the repository, you'll also see that this is the I put this in the GitHub repo just for visibility purposes, that we are registered. We're not just a hype.
I like that because, like you mentioned before, there's a lot of sketchy stuff out in the space, and a lot of people do claim transparency. They have a name, they say they dox, they might even show an ID. But seeing that there's a registered business behind this, that you guys have already got a lot of the groundwork laid, that's exciting. It's exciting to see that all this stuff is still progressing and taking place. So, man, that's going to be big, right? In the next couple of weeks. Yeah, man.
You see that guy right here on the back side. This was the archer, and so we changed him from an archer to be a dueler dagger, and his helmet has been completely remodified. All these characters are 100% custom. They're not what you see. If you look in the middle, that was the former Axeman, and this is the Axeman now that has the Gallant helmet directly on him, and we're really proud of it. We like what we've done. It's been an awesome journey. This is the guy that's here in the backside. These are 100% Gallant. No one can ever copy these characters because we had the developer that created them to customize them specifically for us and for that game. And so you can see that's the main character there. This was what he looked like before, and this is what he looks like now with his little angry slash across the front of his face. So like before Gallant and after Gallant.
Yeah.
Before and after. Before and after.
Now, is this something that users are going to have some interaction with customizing, or are these characters that are developed and everybody's using the same characters out of a pool?
They're using them out of a pool, and you know, as we move forward into the MMORPG, you know, there will be the customizing piece, you know, because we understand the time strengths on getting something produced for the people. And so being on the chain now, you know, we can absolutely integrate things in the future. But as it is right now, no, those are in a pool. But as we get into that tangible asset of the MMO, we want to have a full custom create a full custom dashboard for the character to be able to be branded as that person sees fit, whether it's male or female, skin complexion, facial features, the whole 9 yards, so that, you know, as it would potentially be into a metaverse scene, it's as close to whatever you want it to be.
Yeah, and I wondered how that was going to play in terms of like the NFT portion of it. If there's going to be specific characters that you could purchase or trade, sell, etc. It'd be interesting to see where that goes. Is any of that on the radar?
Absolutely. There's 4 characters, 4 of those 5 that's in the character breakdown in terms of what they can do and the armor that they can possess, the hit points and the weapons. There'll be more info released about that in terms of the visuals. Yeah, I don't want to release too much about it because we're under the developments with it, and we may have changed a couple things from what we've originally announced. And so I don't want to let too much out about it, simply based on what Sammy has in works. And if Sammy, you'd like to talk a little bit, I know Jake has been working directly with her a lot lately. And we actually just shared the game schematics in terms of the connections. Look at it like nodes, connecting the nodes for the front end, the back end, and the website, and then linking it directly to the smart contract. So there's some interesting stuff here to try to dumb it down so that it's not so complex, because that's the thing. Some people try to do too much and then they kind of bite off more than they can chew. So the simple KISS method, right? Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Here we go. I'll turn it over to Sammy. She has she was going to say a little piece, and then I'll jump back into King's Calling.
Okay.
Hello, thank you, Stephen. Basically, I just wanted. Can you mute? Hello. Okay. So I just wanted to add. Darn, I hear myself. Let me see. 1 second.
Yeah, I hear you also. I wondered if that was me, so I muted, but
Okay. Okay, this is much better. All right.
there
I
we
just wanted. Got it. Just wanted to add that these games that we are sharing with you guys today, this is, I like to call it the appetizers. This is not the main course, guys. And I have to say that originally I thought that was a good thing, because you know, I thought people would be really surprised if they're really excited about these games that we're sharing. Then just wait till you see what we really have in the works, you know, and, you know, like planned for you guys. You're going to love it. But someone brought up a comment today in our community about managing expectations. And so I kind of started to see maybe a drawback of not making it fully known that our main project goal when it comes to the games and what games we're trying to produce is our blockchain MMORPG. And so I just wanted to take the time to announce that, you know, that was our main goal. We started the new contract with that in mind. And since then, we've come up with these additional games to provide, I guess, something for the community and investors to look forward to as we build our MMORPG. So just taking a moment to remind people that this is not as good as it gets. And these games started out really small, and we happen to work with really good developers, and we have really great partners, and so things are just coming out so beautifully. We're really looking forward to beta testing of the first game, but as good as these may be, just want you guys to keep in mind that this is not the main thing. So we want you to enjoy them. We want to provide, something for people to look forward to, but concept art for our MMORPG is likely to come out at the end of the year. That's my goal as head of design. I'm working on that. We're working on storyline development. We have a committee of gamers and professionals who are writers. And so we're doing that in the background. And so this is the foreground, which you guys are seeing. Just wanted to add that.
Yeah,
Steven?
no, that's a good clarification there to point out the fact that this is something to keep the community engaged in the meantime, when there's something much bigger going on. So I'm gonna be transparent with you, and the one thing I didn't research, and you can explain to anybody in the room that doesn't know, what is an MMO RPG? I know role playing game, but tell me about the MMO.
Massive multiplayer online role-playing game. And prime example of a MMORPG is World of Warcraft, League of Legends. Things those are two that comes to my mind. EverQuest, for some of the older people in here. Those are
EverQuest. Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah, EverQuest was like the foundational starting point for World of Warcraft, if you ask me. Um,
Yeah.
and why is WoW still played? People are actually drifting away from WoW, if I can just toot my horn on that one, simply because of the way things are being done, as well as the expansion areas that has capacity for growth in a way that World of Warcraft isn't delivering it. And so Jason Brooks, who's our CFO, his son actually, who's not here, I just looked to see if he was in here, but his son is actually a gamer himself. And um, I'll just say that I have a tester on my PC right now. Um, and I stand corrected. League of Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena game, not a multiplayer online role playing game. There's a slight differential there
Okay.
between League of Legends, where one you're in an arena where you have restricted access where everybody fights, opposed to World of Warcraft or EverQuest where you can travel around and go accomplish missions and so forth. But
Right.
so yeah, his son actually, as I mentioned, with Gallant being a gaming development company with a license to do so, we want to take advantage of the market in terms of providing both on chain and off chain, but also there's people that create all around the world, and so I found Mark, who's connecting the pieces for us on King's Calling, which if you're looking at the screen again right now, this is King's Calling. This is a part of the world that's being created right now, piece by piece,
Mm.
Unity assets. He's creating it for us, and this one will be blockchain based. And there's a storyline that goes behind it that outside in the forest is where the knight spawns. And when when the game is started, he wakes up and he immediately is notified that he has to get to the king's castle to find out what his mission is. And along the way, there will be distractions, of course, to deter him away, enemies to fight, and little quests to complete in order to get, the rewards from them. So this is just to showcase a little bit about what Gallant is working on doing. We want to be able to, and me as a troll who goes across different Discord servers and is constantly looking around for talent. Mark has his own game that he's put together, and so I'll show you just a quick one about it. But we have the ability to be a launch pad. Does that make sense? To to allow people that have the talent or has created a game. Like I won't say names, but I've got another guy that produces games on Android and through web that I can see fitting right in with our kit and caboodle here, because we have Telegram game group, and there's a whole bunch of Telegram games in that group, and we award, people in our community bounties whenever there's, a bounty put out because so and so has been on the leaderboard for a few weeks or a few days. We'll randomly throw, bounties out there. But just to rewind, Gallant not only is focusing on their own string of games, but also as a launch pad for other people that has the ability to create games, but doesn't have the community, or B, doesn't have the resources, or C, all of the above. Maybe they're shy, maybe they don't feel like their work's good enough. But that's where our community
Sure.
can come in and say, well, you know what, I like that, but what would be really awesome is if you change this tree and put it over there, or if you put in,
Yeah.
this or that, and becomes that critiquing source for these guys and girls, because this is something, as I mentioned a moment ago, this is the one that he put together for himself, and he's agreed to sell it to us in terms of a contract, with giving him the royalties off credits. But I can see this being a game for us, because not everybody likes to play a medieval themed game. You've
Sure.
got more people out there that plays games in different genres. I personally, I don't care for some of the role playing games that I see. I love racing
Yeah.
games. I love fighting games. I love shooting games, first person shooters. Um, and so this is an environment that was created by him, and he said that he doesn't mind letting us roll with it and launch it under Gallant Studios. So this will be something that would be released. We are not going to set a tentative date right this minute because I need to get the full stack developer to go through the game, and then build a contract around it in terms of
Yeah.
integrating the Gallant tokens, setting up some achievements and quests so that it's not something that's just easily done overnight. In terms of, oh, we just launched a game. Well, I beat it yesterday. That's the thing. We're trying to create sustainability for long term here. And so that's just a little piece to show you guys.
No, that's great to see what's in the works, and that's appealing to me, and I'm excited to see how that develops. I saw that we had somebody in the community with their hand raised. I'll jump in and let you speak in just a second here, CR9, and see if anybody else has any questions. But the one last thing I want to touch base on, because as excited as we are about the tech, when you talk about royalties and revenue, that's something that I'm interested in knowing as an investment. Now, you talked about some of these teasers and pre-releases being something to help with revenue stream as you're in game development. Talk to us just a little bit about where your revenue is coming from and how you see that playing in.
Certainly. So currently, as we are sitting, all development funds have been generated from the smart contract itself. And as we've established our LLC and made a name for ourselves by utilizing the smart contract on the blockchain, it's allowing us to show proof of work and proof of concept. And so as this first game is now being close to its launch date on the mobile side, our anticipated next move is to be able to present an investor's deck to some capital funds on the outside. We've gained some marketing funds, and we've also been in discussions with a development company that has quite a substantial team of people behind him. And so at this point, it's a matter of securing the asset funds needed to kind of carry us on into another dimension, so to speak, because people that are here now and seeing and being a part of what we're doing, raising some more capital through equity, whether it comes through the token side or the business side of shares for Gallant Token LLC. That's what our next move is. We've been through the storm. We've been here. We've shown ourselves. We've signed contracts, and so for me as the leader here, I would like to see us moving into a phase to where we can raise capital, not just from the token side, but on the business side to help promote and push forward.
And that's definitely one of the benefits of being a registered LLC as well, because there's that establishment there that you can go out and get capital investors instead of just selling out of whatever marketing wallet budget that you have for the next phase of development. Which, I mean, that's encouraging. That's encouraging to me when I think about what I'm going to invest in, because I do want to know what happens, 3 months, 6 months down the road as we're trying to get near project completion. Is this going to be a big tax on the token's value because we're trying to suck some liquidity out of there through selling of marketing tokens just to finish what we started?
Yeah, absolutely. I've watched other projects, and I think that's good that you actually pay attention to that, because it's critical. And we've got two different firms on our list that one of which we've already been in negotiations with previously. Nate basically told us, hey, when you guys feel like you're ready again, come see me. I'll be here. And they have teams of people around the world in there. And I won't call it a pyramid, but I'll call it a hierarchy. There is a crap ton of people inside that organization that can help facilitate from very, very many aspects of the token, from marketing to engineering to, development from both the UI and the UX, as well as managing different districts and regional marketing opportunities for it. So we're really excited. The people that watch us and see us, there's been people in the woodworks come out like, hey, you guys are awesome. I just want to let you know that I've been watching you guys, and I'm proud to see where you are right now. Of course, people that don't know anything about us, they'll look at the chart at this current moment and not realize that we've survived a relaunch. We've survived a sell-off after pre-sale, some PR pushes, and everybody. I'll tell you something, Ray. I'm going to jump on the soapbox real quick. You know what I'm excited about, brother?
Let's go,
You know what
man.
I'm freaking excited about? I'm freaking excited about when you look at our Telegram, the 2,086 members that's in there. Each and every one of them joined on their own. We didn't pay no freaking Telegram hustler to just dump people in our group, And so I'm really excited about that. I pride myself in this team and every person that's been here. And our marketing contract, our contract does sell off tokens in its own self to generate BNB. Sure. And so when you mention the token sellings, I'll tell you this, I'm also proud of. Our LP is solid. You show me another project that survives for even a minute, the 15-hour pump they did, and still has the LP to sustain day after day trading, dude. Like anytime I've seen a pump come through on there, it's like straight red all the way down to pre-sale prices sometimes. And so our LP is still solid. We were at 20%, 22% LP to market cap before the pump. And right now we're still holding very strong days after. So
yeah, I like that.
What I said there. Yeah, dude, we're not the Moon Boys, man. Those Moon Boys, they love the go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I see that, like, when I know we haven't talked about tokenomics, and I'm kind of glad, but I see that you guys are pushing 5% back into liquidity. And some people would say, "Oh, too much liquidity, you're not going to get a good pump." But really, when you're talking about establishing a long-term project, building that liquidity up, raising the price floor solidly over time is key. And I like that. I see that, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, these guys are thinking long-term. So absolutely, man.
Yeah. A lot of the space, and it comes through education. It really does. Everybody's used to seeing, a 0.1 MC to LP project where somebody comes in and drops in $1,000. It just went up $1 million. They drop in 10 grand. You're at an $82 million market cap with 100 grand in liquidity. Like, I'm not going to buy into that at all. You couldn't pay me. I'm sorry.
Right. And that says something about what happened after CMC too, because you did have a great run. I see that you guys are holding fast at like 4,600 or 4,360 holders. Like, there's obviously a large community that's behind this. And so there's a lot of good things that I see here. But just to be mindful of our time, I see we got maybe 15 minutes left, and I had a couple people with their hands up. I want to unmute a couple people for community questions, if that's all right with you, Stephen.
Sure, absolutely. Let's hear it. Let's go, people. We love you. We're here for you.
Awesome. So I'm gonna hit you first, CR9, and I'm gonna go ahead and unmute Tolga. If you guys will take a turn in that order. CR9, go ahead. He had put his hand down. I thought it was just because he might thought I was being impatient or something. Tolga, go ahead with your question, man. We'll see if CR9 comes back online.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
What's up, buddy? How you doing, Tolga?
Fine. It's freezing in Ankara, Turkey now.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, it's getting a little late and cold over there.
Yeah. Guys, I see you begin with a 3D fighting game, and you have emphasized on the website as not P2E. Why didn't you prepare launching with a P2E game and instead of non-P2E game?
That's a great question, Tolga. And a part of that is to establish branding and establish a network of people in our community. We believe in appealing to both areas, P2E and non-P2E. And so because the game is being launched directly from the Google Apps and the Android, Apple App Store and Google Play Store is where it will be launched. But I want you to know, join our community and hang around, and you will see that game will get transitioned over into a P2E. Our goal is to create everything that we can, both on-chain and off-chain, because there's people that don't play games that are in the real world that would love to hear about maybe playing some games to earn. So the purpose behind it was to establish our branding outside of the crypto scene to migrate those people into the crypto scene.
Thank you very much, Steven.
My pleasure, Tolga.
Good question, Tolga, and that's something that appeals to me. I know a lot of gamers, and I often say, "Man, I wish you were making money while you're doing that." And maybe this presents a new opportunity to do that. Absolutely. I'm gonna want to invite Disco up to the stage. What's up, Disco? Glad you're here, man. DYOR Disco. Don't abandon me, man. I unmuted you.
Hey, sorry,
He's
my
calling.
headset literally just died. Can you hear me good?
Yep, you're good, man. We figured that's what it was.
Hey, Steven. I'm Rob from DBT, new project coming out next week or this weekend. I was looking over your contract, and I was just curious. I noticed there is a blacklist feature. Was that only used for pre-sale purposes?
It is used on a basis as needed, and I'm glad you mentioned this because that's actually one of the functions that I'm proud of outside of the ability to whitelist future exchanges and so forth for giveaways and marketing purposes. But the blacklist function is there for two reasons. A, to blacklist any type of fraudulent occurrence. Here's an example. Over the weekend, we had a community member reach out to me and say, "Hey, something funky's went on. His wallet was compromised. He lost $1,000 worth of tokens, and it was because he had been scammed." There's been a lot of scams come out about Gallant over the past few days. There's been entire giveaway websites asking people to send their tokens to. And so I took it upon myself to be a good steward, and I educated the guy. He seemed legitimate with me. We went on a face-to-face camera. I actually think I saw tears in his eyes when he looked over at his son to tell his son that he had been given tokens back. But the wallet that stole those tokens from him became blacklisted, and it will be a diamond-handed wallet holder for the rest of eternity for this project.
Well, it's essentially just included in the burn.
Love it. I love that. Yes,
Yeah.
that makes me so happy, Stephen. I just love justice.
Yeah, yeah, I was actually pretty excited about it, and one of the reasons why we had that custom written into our contract was I won't name the token, but there was a project that was launched a few months back, and they had released a good market cap, and somebody's wallet was compromised. There was over 5 trillion tokens in this wallet, and that wallet got sold off of 3 different projects. And one of those sellouts was like 30K just out of one project. And had they had a blacklist function in place, it could have been instantly remediated, where either A, you return those tokens back, or you're just excluded from circulating supply. You're a handed holder forever. So thanks for asking that, Disco. I'm glad that you took initiative to look at that, because there's some misconstrues around there. Oh, people blacklist so they can keep people from selling. No, we're legitimate business. We need sales. If there's no sales on the chart, there's no money being made for the business. And so
Exactly.
blacklisting is only there to preserve the integrity of our holders in our community. If I notice a
Exactly.
bot is running, if go ahead, Disco.
Yeah. And if more projects were up and honest and transparent as like a few of the other ones that I'm a part of, there'd be no issues with blacklist features.
Yeah, they're looked down upon in certain aspects, but again, it comes down to the people in the project. Um,
Exactly.
there's I mean, just look at the SEC. I mean, they have trading halts. They stop people from trading all the time. And the other people that aren't a part of the normal community, they get to make their trades go through. But yeah, we're proud of it. It's in our CERTIC audit. There'll be comments about it, and anybody at any point in time, just like you did, our voice chat's pretty much running 24/7. So anybody at any time can ask questions, and we're here to answer them. At any point, I'm free. My team is as well.
Perfect. I will be reaching out to you about our community vote coming in February.
Okay.
And then
Certainly.
one more thing. How much am I in to spend for the CERTIC audit? If you can release those numbers.
Absolutely. I can't say that you can get it for the same deal, but I can tell you this, that other people are charging 15 to 20K to get Skynet and the CERTIC audit completed. But what I will say is that if we form a relationship here from the call, I will be more than honored to share with you his contact information, because he's an honest guy and he believes in honest people. And so our price was 10K we paid for the audit, and we paid 5K for Skynet. And
Oh,
that
wow.
is unheard of prices. Yeah.
Larry's one of the good ones, and if you're running a decent project, he will get in your corner for sure. So
Yeah, we're proud
Perfect.
to have Larry. He's totally opened up his home to us in China. He's done a lot for us in the short time frame he has, and I'm looking forward to him getting this cross-chain, cross-token promotion going for us in a group AMA session with 2 other tokens. So stay tuned for that.
nice.
Perfect. Thank you, Stephen.
Thanks,
My
Disco.
pleasure, Disco.
I see that CR9. Get back to the mic. Go ahead, man. You had a question?
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, I'm trying to ask you about, do you have any plan for partnership in a part of your marketing plan?
I'm sorry, just would you mind repeating it just a little bit? You're just a little too close to the mic there. I don't know if it was the Ronaldo avatar that you got up
Okay.
there, because I'm a Lionel Messi guy, so I'm not sure I can hear too straight with Ronaldo there. Go ahead, buddy. I'm just jiving with you.
Okay, I said, do you have plans for partnership in the process of marketing?
Partnerships in the form of marketing, absolutely. That's actually one of the biggest things on our list, because of the simple fact that you can't do it alone. You have got to have support from other communities, and currently we have 2 partnerships. One with CoinMerge, which we're very very thankful for them. They've provided a cross-platform swap for us utilizing the DAR platform, so that you can swap ETH to BSC. And then another partnership is with Paradox NFT, which is launching within the next 30 days. Their platform will be live, where our marketplace will host our in-game assets and so forth. Not only will they be hosting unique marketplace with NFTs, but also the metaverse and the multi-faceted side of the NFTs. You know, music, video, of course the JPEGs, but tickets and so forth. They're working on some really awesome partnerships. One of which is with Bugatti that just got signed. I'll let them talk more about that on their own dime. But yeah, we're proud of partnerships. I'm looking at trying to get Moon Nation. I like Moon Nation. Maisie Gaming, they just sent me a Twitter requested back after I reached out to them. And that's where we hold esports sessions, to where, you know, we're providing prize pools. I'm trying to get a hold of Alex Becker, but he's hard to reach because of the saturated area that we live in. But if I can just get him to hear my voice, we will try and do something in terms of a partnership with Alex Becker and what he's got going on. But partnership with games is very huge. You guys mentioned something about like Meta Hero. You know, I like what they're doing in the metaverse as well as the gaming side as a whole. So just stay tuned. The more that, you know, we do on our roadmap to prove ourselves that we're not just a talk about, you know, project, but we've actually got something tangible and physical when it comes down to the documentation side of things, we're going to get these partnerships even deeper and set Gallant to a different stratosphere. Hope that answers your question, CR9.
Yeah, good question.
All right.
Good question.
Yeah. What about your? Sorry. Like, let me ask one more question, please. Looking at your
Sure.
contracts, do you guys plan on increasing the sectors if you later launch?
One moment, guys.
Hello, do you get my question?
What was that, CR9? I apologize. I had to swap mics.
Okay. I said, do you guys, based on your contracts, do you guys have plan on increasing your sectors? Maybe after launch, maybe one of the things some of the project does is to increase the sectors so as to reduce sell pressure. Do you have plans for that?
It's really hard to hear.
I would summarize that for you, but
The
I'm not quite
question
sure I
was-
caught it either.
Yeah, this is Steven. I'm on Sammy's mic here because my headset died on me and I didn't want to jump into fixing it in the middle of it. I figured I would finish with this one. But yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't hear all of CR9's question. It sounds like he said something about cell tax.
That's kind of what I thought. Is there any opportunity to move that sale tax? But I'm not sure. And
Yes,
maybe.
exactly.
Okay. Are the taxes modifiable for future needs as things
My
evolve?
question was
Yes, we have the ability to change our taxes on a as needed as the market advances and grows basis. Simply stated, you know, at 100K market cap, you need X amount of tokens to equal, you know, a 0.5 BNB. And as the market cap increases, you don't need as much to equal that 0.5 BNB. And so JB is very diligent at constantly staying on top of the numbers to make sure that we're generating revenue, but also increasing and modifying liquidity. But 13% tax is not as bad in terms of longevity in comparison to some of these meme hype coins that's charging 30% and sometimes 50% on taxes. If you don't worry about selling,
of it being reflections.
yeah, 3% of it you get back as a holder.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a sustainable level there. I hope that answers your question, CR9. And I see that we're kind of getting close to the end of our time. Well, we probably are at the end of our time, which is fine. This has been a great conversation. I love how well organized you guys are with the presentation, and you really seem like you know where you're headed. So I just wanted to ask, was there anything kind of last things you wanted to put out there to kind of tie a bow on this and kind of help us to understand why we want to be investing?
Well, I'd like to do something unorthodox here on this last question that you asked. I'm looking through the list here. Super Eye, between Super Eye, I see Moon Nani, Jacob, Crystal, and we'll go with Jessica Cameron. I just called out your names. If any of you guys would like to speak as to why, I know Super Eye is a part of our admin team. Jacob has moved into our mod team. Moon Nani's been here for a while, but any of you guys that I've mentioned, if you would raise your hand or unmute yourself and just let Ray know, why are you still here? Why are you still holding Gallant? And what has enticed you or made you become a holder of Gallant?
Just to be real brief about it, because I know that time's almost up. So I was brought in by another community member, Crystal, and I stayed with Gallant for a very specific reason. Gallant has a great project, like a lot of other places that might have a great project, but the difference between them and everybody else is the core team. When you get a dedicated and just a driven, focused core team, someone that you could, talk to, relate, has good communities, and you get that together with the token, it's completely something different than you've ever dealt with before. So I was drawn in from the project, but I stayed because of the team. Sam, JB, Steven, I don't get to talk to Jake much, but when you just interact with them and you talk with them and you listen to what they're saying and you look at what they're doing, the dedication and the amount of effort that they put, like that level of trust that's built, like with, like when we had that dip from the all-time high that we had because of the CMC push, I had not a single thought in my head. It was like, oh, I need to quickly sell so I can make my money and then leave. Not a single thought. My whole thought process was like, awesome, I'm getting more tokens. How can I get more tokens? Because I'm invested in this project because I'm invested in them.
Fair enough, man. It's always good to hear from the community.
Well, thanks, Jacob. We're proud to have you here, and I appreciate your input. And Ray, I've got testimonials for days in my email box from different community members because, without a community, you don't have anything but an idea. You don't have anything but a project, and the community is what makes it something that's achievable over a period of time with goals that are able to be delivered. Because what happens if I create a game and I got nobody to play it? Yeah,
you're gonna be up a creek.
You've got a problem. If I own a barber shop and I don't have anybody coming in to get their hair, I can't pay rent.
Well, that's something we value a lot here too, is just the community and just building that and being transparent. And I really like what you guys are doing. I've really enjoyed our conversation today, and it's definitely inspired me to learn some more. We don't usually announce things in advance because as we try to protect our community, we don't do a lot of announcing when we do giveaways. But I love where the project's at, and I took screenshots of everybody just a couple minutes ago, and we are going to be purchasing some Gallant token and doing an airdrop. Well, I guess it's just a transfer technically. I don't want to get all cocky. We're going to be sending 3 of you who are here participating 0.05 BNB worth of Gallant token to your wallet address. So I will announce those winners in chat in just a little while here. I'm excited about this, and I want to encourage everybody, like we always do. Like, this is a good community. I've been in their Telegram. It's real people and really interactive. So please take the time to join their Telegram and make sure that if you still have questions, you get them answered. And check out the website, read the white paper, see the roadmap, and make your own decision about where this project is going. this definitely does sound like something that is a longer term investment, but also has a lot of development that's coming along the way to keep people incentivized. And so that's something that I'm interested in as part of my portfolio, guys. So thank you so much for coming out and sharing today. I appreciate you so much. If there's anything you ever need from us, make sure you reach out. We'll just continue to provide our community with updates, and hopefully as things are developing, maybe we'll have you in here again so that we can talk more about where the project is at and what's up and coming.
Absolutely, man. I'll be glad to do a recap, and you know, we'll be more than glad to share any types of updates we get as it comes along. And you know, as CR9 mentioned, forming partnerships. You know, I'd like to say that that's what we did today with Rebel Traders, and so we'll look to you guys in support, and we'll continue to go about our goals, and we'll be around.
That sounds great.
Hey, who's doing the airdrop? It wasn't popping up for me for the Gallant tokens. Who's
For the giveaway, Disco? That's me. It's Ray.
Ray,
I'm going to put an announcement in our.
DM me your wallet. I'm going to double it.
Hey, all right, Disco. Oh man, that's sweet, man. I appreciate that. All right, we'll coordinate and get it all together. Okay.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here. We really appreciate you coming out to support this project. And again, if you ever have any questions, catch us in the main chat, catch us in DMs. We're here. So thanks again to the team from Gallant. We look forward to hearing more from you guys.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Ray.
Thanks, Matt Leaf. Bye, everybody.
And I'll grab that recording.